Hello there, my lovely Legionnaires. How are we doing today? Hello! Big yawns. Big eepy. So I laid out all of the frames for this. Will we get through all of this today? Probably not. Let's be real with ourselves. Let's be reasonable here. Let's not get overzealous here. You've always been a huge piece of shit. If I could kill you, I would. Ah! Big yawns. Valhalis, how can you tell a dragon's age? Well, carbon dating's an easy one, but personally, if it were up to me, you do it by measurement, usually. Or you could just fucking ask them, you weird pervert. Was Mage Hawk the cool one? Yeah, Mage Hawk's the cool one. The one with the best design. That breastplate's gonna be a pain in my nuts, but, you know, it is what it is. So the goal for today is to work on a proper animatic. Just for a much shorter sequence. From the end of 600 Strike, if you've listened to the new epic. If you've managed to listen to the new epic saga. Big yawns today, Jesus Christ. This is gonna be my first time actually attempting something this complicated, so we'll see, we'll see.
I believe in you.
The goal is to not spend 2 hours on one drawing this time.
Real? Oh my god.
I just spend 2 hours on a drawing I ultimately decide I hate.
God, that's so real. But yeah, so not only was Mage Hawk the coolest visually, technically he was the coolest. Because you do have a spell if you go for like, I think it's like a force mage, where you can just punch and it's rocks. It's great. It's my favorite.
Big fan of Mage Hog. How the fuck am I gonna draw that chess piece at this angle? This is where it fucking starts, gang. With great difficulty. Yeah, no shit. Oh, here, for the people at home, I'm using this cosplayer as a reference. I love you, Mage Hawk. Never change. What are the canon names? It's Marion is the female, and what was the canon male name? Only a little late, Jez. Only a little. Canon name is apparently just Hawk.
Yeah, it's Garrett Hawk.
Garrett is the male name. Thank you. I couldn't place that it was Garrett is the canon male name. Garrett and Marion. It feels weird because I don't think there's like canon names for the hero of Ferelden or the Inquisitor, is there?
So there are canonical last names, but no canon first names.
Well, yeah, because you're Lavellin, Trevelyan, Adar. I can't remember what the dwarf one was. I hate it when games nerf things you enjoy. Yeah, I mean, I burned myself down to nothing yesterday trying to get that, and I finally got the start of Lucanus's romance, and listen, I stand by everything I said. It was underbaked, it took too long, and it felt like there was no advancement leading up to it. But it was really good. But I can't lie to you and say that I didn't, you know, that I didn't blush and kick my feet. I think ultimately having not enough of something is like the least bad. I'd rather feel like there was something missing than try to subtract something that was already there, you know what I mean? Too much effort, little payoff. I think I don't know, I think the payoff was I think the part of the problem, this is the thing too, right? I think part of the problem is with specifically Lucanus. Because he's air quotes colder. I think he's less responsive overall. Uh, so I'd have to play another romance. I'm planning on romancing Nev after him. So and Justin's gonna romance Harding, and Brooke's gonna romance Emmerich. So it might be just that I fucked myself. It might be simply that I played myself. But I can tell you from the perspective of where I'm at, it's good quality, but it took way too long, and there was no build up. It felt like he was kind of responding. Like, it didn't even feel like we were flirting with him and he was flirting back. It just felt like I was hitting on him a little bit, and he was, like, not it almost felt like he didn't understand that I was hitting on him until this point, you know?
I agree. I think you're right. I think he didn't. I don't think he picked up on it.
Because you say stuff like, well, like, I'm glad it's you, or, you know, like, I don't mind as long as, you know, etc., etc. Like, something that's, like, overtly flirting with him, and he just kind of responds with, yeah, so the thing we were talking about, and I'm like, god damn it, come on.
He probably, it's, okay. I think let me correct myself. I think he knows that you're doing it. I think he's very like, oh, Rook's just trying to be nice. Moving on.
Yeah. I think he knows intellectually, but refuses to accept the possibility that, like, you're actually flirting with him. I wanted...
You hitting on me? It couldn't be.
Couldn't be. I wanted, like, a little bit more of a reaction. Like, I like, there's a couple of them in Inquisition where, if you hit on them, then they, like, in the middle of a response, they'll keep going, but they'll do a little, like, anyway, you know what I mean? Like, I think something like that would have been good. To feel like there was feedback, you know what I mean?
You know what I would have loved? Like, absolutely, like, fucking, why didn't they do this? You know when they, like, when you give gifts to the companions and they're like, oh, sweet, nice, thanks. And then they move on. Hate that. I hate that. I wish
Yeah.
we would have gotten more, like, something, more commentary, like, give me something, please.
Guy's basically too much of a logical man to come. It's less logical and more he has such low self-esteem that he's like, there's no way.
That's really what it is, yeah. It's a mix of low self-esteem and just guilt.
He's like, no, you can't be hitting on me. I'm a freak.
I have a demon called Spite. He will salt your coffee. How can I do that to another person?
Also, hi, on today's episode of I was simply too attracted to Lucanus to process the thing that Spite said until I'd watched that cutscene 3 more times. I think I know what that means now. I think I know what he meant by that. I don't like it!
What do you mean?
So, in the scene where you... So, for chat, in the scene where you, like, start the romance path with Lucanus, it starts with him getting possessed by Spite, and Spite says, we made a deal. He's not keeping up with the deal. I want out. And they're like, where would you go? You can't have... Or, because he says live, and then you respond with, like, where are you gonna go? There's no place in Thedas that will respond well to a possessed man. And then Spite clarifies and says, I want out. He made a deal, he promised. and then he leaves his body and is like, make him do it. Make him, or ask him. Ask him, tell him. And then he shunts back into Lucanus. I think I put 2 and 2 together, and I don't like it. I think I know what that deal was. And the Dragon Age homies will know as soon as I say it. My dear beloved Mortis.
Yes, I am Mortis.
What's the easiest way to free a mage from, to free an abomination from its spirit?
Uh-oh.
I think that was the deal. I think the deal was, I help you leave, you let me out. And now that they can't, and now that he's stuck, and there's nothing they can do, I think the deal is, you let me out however you have to.
Which Dragon's Age that has the best romance in your opinion?
Ooh.
God, we're gonna be here for a long time.
Okay. Oh boy. I have... Oh god, I'm thinking. Oh boy.
Okay, let's clarify the question a little bit more. Best romance, how? Best in terms of like story beats, best like cute romance, best angsty romance? What are you what's the poison here? What's the flavor? What are we talking?
I think they just mean overall.
Oh God, we're gonna be here for
Are
a
we
long
talking
time.
in general or just in regards to Dragon Age?
Just in regards to Dragon Age. They said was which Dragon Age has the best romance. I think in terms of like all around, I would say probably Inquisition from what I've played. Because I think you get the most for you get the proverbial most for your money. I think
And so to clarify that a little bit, in Origins and DA2, you do get like you get moments and stuff, but not moments the way Inquisition does moments. Inquisition has more like it's very cinematic and it's a lot more like detailed and there's more like little things for you to pick at and like gush over, right?
Yeah, you get
and that's not necessarily something you have in Origins or DA2.
Yeah, you get a lot of flavor in Inquisition, and I like that. That's why I would say it's my favorite. Again, for lack of a better way to phrase it, you get a lot for your money. My favorite of all the romances, period, because that could also be how you mean this question. This is gonna sound like a wild sentence because these two romances couldn't be any different. Are Meryl and Blackwall?
Go on, please continue. Explain your bias.
Well, yeah, because they're my favorites. That was the question. I mean, I like okay. I like Fenris's romance, for example, right? I think it's good. I think it's really cute. I'm a big fan of weird stray cat learns to like pets. You know what I mean? That's good shit. I like that. But Meryl's is so fucking sweet. She's just so sweet. I love her. I love my wife. Sue me. Oh my god, I can't believe it. I love my wife. But she's just... There's something that's very good about how amongst, like, I think she's my favorite in DA2. Specifically because... How the fuck do I log in? It's telling me... I'm trying to get a fucking dagger asset I can rotate, but... Oh, there we go, like this. Listen, amongst everyone else, right? I like her the most because I feel like she stands out. You know what I mean?
Sweet baby angel.
Yeah, sweet baby angel. That's what I mean. Is like amongst everyone else who has like complicated, they're so sad. You know what I mean? And I love them. Don't get me wrong. I love DA2. I love the cast of DA2. We got into like a 45-minute screaming session where I was like, which I might get into here because we're drawing the cast of DA2, where I was complaining about where the fuck is my wife? But I feel like Meryl is so good because while everyone else is really like, everyone else is sad and dramatic and like you have to overcome so much about them, but Meryl's romance revolves around like, oh, I just love my people so much. And I love my history and whoever loves me has to be okay with that. And I'm like, give me your hand in marriage.
That's it. That's all. That's it.
That don't matter, baby girl. Come sign this.
Well, cause like,
Just be invested in your interests. That's it, baby girl.
well, it's less be invested in her interests and more her culture is very important to her, so much so that she sold her soul for it. You know?
She sold her soul about it.
So
Baby girl, teach me all there is to know.
Right.
Be
And
autistic at me for forever.
Please, please! My wife, who I love so much.
I'm gonna start with 2 because Heaton said to avoid 1. To avoid Origins.
So I'm gonna say, okay, I have extended the offer to Heaton. I will extend the offer to you as well. I am going to be starting up another Origins playthrough. If you want to watch for that, you can. Origins is a good game story-wise. I don't recommend playing it just because it's very, it's a dungeon crawl, like it's insane, like long dungeon crawl, right?
It's
for,
a
like,
capital D
quests.
dungeon crawl.
But like I'm specifically only showing like the story beats and stuff. So if you want to join for that, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, I would agree. I'm gonna say, start with playing DA2.
I do want to know what the fuck is up.
Oh yeah, for sure. Origins was like the first game, and there's like a lot of important lore foundation that's laid in that game that gets built upon the further and further we go into the other games.
Because despite what the fucking shitty old heads would tell you, nobody gets more pandering than the Origins fans. Cries in DA2 fan. I miss my wife, Tails. I miss her a lot. I'll be back.
Okay, so you've explained the Merrill romance. How about you explain the Blackwell romance?
Listen. Listen. First of all, thank you for the donation for my 2.0 model. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Also, yeah, I would do a wizard with a gun stream, you know? It looks really cute. I'd love to give it a try. It's fucking, I don't know, man. I like sad old men. What do you want?
Is he in Inquisition or is he in 2?
He's an Inquisition.
He's an Inquisition.
Okay.
I like sad old men. Is that what you wanted?
You like sad old
like
men
sad
and
old
angst.
men.
Thank you.
I like sad old men. I like angst. I like redemption arcs. Shut up.
And this bad boy can hold all 3 aggressive stomach slapping noises.
And this bad boy can hold all 3 slaps beard. I also made a point when I saw that Davrin was doing wood carvings. I was like, are all fucking wardens? Is this just something they teach you in warden school? Is to fucking do these wood carvings? And fucking Mortis points out, was like, well, it was also only black. And I'm like, I want you to tell me right now that you think Alistair can't or wouldn't.
Alistair can't wood carve.
I think he could. I think they don't let him anymore. Not after last time.
I think, listen, I agree, but I think the reason why, oh my god, hello? I can talk. He can't. That's why they don't let him after last time.
He does have the energy of somebody who's like, this looks easy, I can do it, and then cuts his hand really bad.
Yeah! Yeah, he does! He is!
I saw that.
Why is Alistair very popular from
Dumb
I don't
dog.
know. Like is he
Dumb dog.
Dumb dog?
Yeah, he's like peak golden retriever boyfriend energy.
You remember how I told you that the reason that I like that I'm so profoundly in love with one Crom Fire Emblem is because I love that he's very sweet and earnest, but very stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Alistair. Alistair
Gotcha.
Dragon Age.
The only thing I know about Sebastian is that he just completely doesn't give in to Anders' fucking proddings, and he's like, "Oh, that one looks like a bunny."
I love
pointing at the clouds.
I love that bit where Anders is so transparently trying to start a fight, and Sebastian's like, "Oh look, that one looks like a bunny," and he's just like outright ignoring his ass. Oh yeah, this is gonna be the stream where I get contentious because I fucking hate Anders.
Because, like, I know there's a void, because I don't know a ton about DA2 other than what Heaton has told me, and most of that is Anders. Slander would imply that it's not true.
That's my girl, that's the right answer.
But,
Anti-Anders propaganda.
Yeah. I mean, I saw the compilation. I think he sucks. He's every white liberal who thinks that they know better than other marginalized identities that have to deal with more than he does.
I referred to him in one context at one point as a fantasy Voshite, and I think that's probably the best description I've ever had.
Yeah.
Actually, I have one better for you. I hate to be talking about recent politics right now, but you know how on TikTok there was a trend of like white liberal women saying, "Oh, well, just don't vote or vote third party and you're not voting for genocide," right?
Yeah.
Those types.
Mm-hmm.
That's Anders.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I know that there is a line where Anders is if you date Meryl, where he's like, well, she's never gonna love her demon. She's never gonna love you more than her demon. And I'm like, am I allowed to just fucking punch him
I think
if I go for? Does the game give me an option to just like hit him?
you don't, but you get two very good dialogue options depending, the second one depending whether or not you have Meryl in your party at the time, which I did, because of course I do, because I love my wife. My response, the dialogue option I picked for my Hawk was, because he starts with, "This may not be my place," and then says that, and Hawk, this was the Purple Hawk response, and one of the few times that Dimitri used a Purple Hawk response, which was, "You know what, Anders? You're right. It's not your place. Shut the fuck up." And then if you say it in front of Meryl, she calls him out. She's like, "That was really mean." She's like, "That was really fucked up and hurtful. Why would you say that?" He wants me so bad. It's a shame that he sucks ass about it. Maybe if you weren't the fucking worst. Maybe if you didn't put your fucking manifesto in fucking underneath my pillow at night.
At least when Father Stone gives out his pamphlets, it's funny.
Fun fact, that's why I started doing it. That's a Dragon Age 2 reference. Except I made it funny. This is gonna be where we see if all that facial expression practice actually fucking works out for me.
I'm trying to draw something myself, and we'll see if I have to just fucking fight it.
I too am resisting John capitalism.
If you can reach 160 on the donation goal, I'll get Heat and Wizard with a gun for a magical stream. Hell yeah! We can reach 160 by the end of today, I think.
In your opinion, which Dragon Age has the coolest art style, Mother?
Art style? Veilguard, and it's not close.
I was gonna say, I'm kind of stuck between DA2 and Veilguard.
Yeah, Veilguard, and it's not close. This is the thing, right? Everybody and their mother was talking shit about how Veilguard looked. Veilguard looks great. I like the way I love the way stronger color motif. I love the way the characters are stylized. I love the way the environments look. I love the way the costumes look. The character designs are so fucking. We sat there and were just screaming about all of the details in fucking Emmerich's design, and I love Lucanus's designs. Fucking everybody looks great. Their outfits are cool. They're cool. Yeah, for my money, it's Veilguard by a lot. I fucking love the way Veilguard looks. Also, hi, I'm calling out Mortis because it's funny. We were talking last night, and so, because, as we all know, if you're also a Chad Lone Mortis enjoyer, which you should be if you're an enjoyer of mine, as you know, Mortis, plays his video games on a fucking potato. So he has to run his graphics at the lowest setting. So it wasn't until last night that he realized that Lucanus has moles. His beauty marks above one of his eyebrows and then next to his mouth. And listen, he said that it's because I play my game on low settings. Like he hasn't been watching me play my game on the highest settings since I started playing.
You say that as if I've not been watching you play on a phone. And even then, I've been watching you play on my phone at work when I'm not always looking at the screen and mostly relying on what I'm fucking hearing. Thank you. Oh my god.
Like, I'm not
you kidding me?
Like, your two friends aren't obsessed with this man.
Oh my god, yeah. No, fucking you and Sakai are feral for Lucanus.
I love him. I simply love him. Listen, I like sad men.
Yeah,
I like sad men who don't know that can't wrap their head around the fact that they're good.
yeah. No, yep. I'm very well aware. We have the peer. I know. Um, but like don't fucking I'm sorry. I'm not able to pay attention to smaller details like that. Damn. Because I'm working to set up Christmas at a fucking store.
So he says.
So, what do you mean? You have seen more of the store than any other person in my life, friend wise, has ever seen before. What the fuck do you mean? So he says.
Listen,
Dog, you've seen it.
I just think it's really convenient that first it was the Kaiden mod, and then all of a sudden he needed to start working later, and and then out of nowhere, he starts collabing more with Brianna, and I'm just saying, chat.
Oh my god! I told you, beginning of the week, hey, I'm off of work, but I still have to go in to set up Christmas. I told you. You knew.
It's one of the first.
You fucking knew.
It's one of the first signs of infidelity, Chad, is that he starts working late and at odd hours too.
Oh my god!
It's unbelievable.
At this point, I'm just drawing your OCs as in the boyfriend's art style anyway. Holy shit! Every time you come out with Mortis is cheating on me, I'm gonna whip out another one. Like a goddamn Hydra of shitty fucking webtoon fame. God, I don't know.
You'd have to draw to do that.
No. Yeah. And guess what I've been doing a lot of recently?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking don't test me. I'll do it. I'll fucking do it.
He will.
I swear to God.
He will.
I know where you live. I know where your parents live. I know where your grandfather lives.
My grandpa out of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
If for no other reason than it'll just be really hard to explain. I don't think you do anything to like cause him problems or whatever, but I don't want to have to explain to him why this is happening. Be like, are you gay? I'm like, no, but like we don't have time to go into the intricacies of what a fucking queer platonic relationship is, Grandpa. I swear to God.
We're just like friends. We're besties. It's like a semi-romantic but completely platonic thing. Don't even worry about it.
I've seen the way you two talk about it. That is not purely platonic.
What Mortis and I have is not romantic and it's not platonic. It's some secret weird third thing.
Yeah. This is fucking this is a soulmate AU.
Truly!
Fucking we met each other for the first time and suddenly we could see colors again.
I'm gonna be so real for you with you. It touches your shoulder homosexually? Yeah, kinda.
Oh my god. You wanna know something even funnier?
What?
See? Dog, I was so depressed 2019, 2020. It wasn't even funny.
So is Dragon Dad Mortis drawing or not?
No, I'm not drawing. I'm like actively getting ready for work. And then I'm probably gonna be on mute. I wanna draw though. I wanna draw so bad.
Want to draw my characters in the boyfriend's art style.
Yeah, I do.
That's been the, for those of you who don't know, that's been the recurring threat, about how,
if we lose our TikTok streak,
yeah,
then...
there it is. If we lose our TikTok streak, then one draws the other's characters in the boyfriend's art style.
Maybe you two are like Sam and Max, or at least my headcanon as queer platonic.
You know what? That's a really
Actually,
that's a really good example. We are like Sam and Max.
But Dio, you don't even like girls. I don't.
I don't?
Real.
Listen, I hate Anders, but my hawk has a weird, complicated relationship with the man.
Same with my hawk. My hawk romanced him.
What a fucking mistake that was.
Yeah, so the Dragon Age 2 writing team is fucking genius because, I don't think people realize how manipulative Anders really is. Because, I didn't either. Not until I got to the end when he made it the most overt it has ever been. No spoilers, but there's a part. No spoilers, but there is a part, endgame, where he asks you to come with him to do something. And if you question him about it, and be like, wait, whoa, hold on, pause. What the fuck? What are you doing? Why are you having me do this? And if you try to be like, hey, you know, I love you, we can, like, do something else, right? He'll snap at you and say, if you really loved me, you would do this for me. And when I tell you, that shit had me taking a lap. That shit had me taking a lap, like a for realsies outside time lap.
Now I have to hate Anders on principle. Danica messages me out of the blue and fucking shows me the voice actor's page, and he's also fucking Shulk!
From
Shulk.
From Xenoblade, the main protagonist. One of the goodest boys.
I was about to say, do we hate Shulk?
No, we like Shulk. So it's infuriating.
I thought
Fuck
we were
running.
I thought we were referencing the fact that the VA sucks, but
does his VA suck? Is it like Adam Howard or something? Does he suck?
I think so. I don't know. I guess that's like what the streets were saying. I don't know that for sure myself though.
All I know is that Cullen's
have-
VA is loony. It's
Yeah.
fucking.
He's loony and he fucking sucks too.
Whatever
but,
listen,
like, a lot of people.
Listen, I've said a lot of things about, like, that man sucks. And I'm not gonna pretend and say that. First of all, thank you. I'm glad that I'm Sam. But I get to be the funny dog in the trench coat. But he does suck, but I think it's a little funny because he's nuts.
Oh, absolutely bonkers nuts. Yeah.
Like, he's one of those people that, like, it's... I can't even... Like, I feel bad, and I'm like, somebody needs to check on him. He's, like, actually, like, certifiable. Something's up with his ass.
And that's been the case for a long time now. I know in 2019, I think? 2018, 2019, he ended up going missing for a while. And then he came back and, like, it seemed like he was fine, but then he was doing a lot of weird, like, I don't know. It was very weird. It's not good. It's just, unironically pray for that man. I don't know. It's like critical levels of black mold infection.
Yeah,
except without the black mold.
This man...
What would the plot of the Mitsuru and Mortis Telltale game be?
Ooh. Don't get me fucking started. I have enough projects already.
We don't. God, yeah.
Mortis is goober, insane, max coded, and probably would forget that he doesn't like girls.
You know, you joke.
Take it easy, Mortis. You don't even like girls.
I don't like girls?
I don't? I love the way that Max says, I don't? Fucking, what the fuck was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought. I'm in the camp of, like, I never liked Solus, I never liked, Anders.
You never liked Colin.
I never liked Colin! Okay, here's the thing, right? Cullen's fine. Like, I'm not gonna say that, like, Cullen's not the worst choice. You know what I mean? Solus is the worst choice. Objectively, I will make fun of you if you're a Solavellan. Fucking call your dad. But, like,
Call your dad. Call your therapist. Hello?
But, like, the thing about Cullen that I hate is that Cullen's so fucking wildly irresponsible. Like, that's what it boils down to, right? Like, he didn't need to be stupid. I could have liked him, but he wouldn't have been my kind of guy. Like, for example, like Will Baldur's Gate and, like, Sebastian aren't my kind of guy for the same reason. I'm not a big fan of that archetype TM. You know? For the basic, Disney princess white girls who like Cullen, you can like him all you want. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think he's an irresponsible, emotionally immature fucking dipshit who was like, you know what's a good idea? I'm going to suddenly stop doing heroin. I'm gonna stop snorting meth. When hundreds of thousands of people rely on me.
To smoke meth.
To smoke meth! And I'm not gonna tell anybody, and I'm gonna tell one person, and I'm gonna tell her not to tell my boss. Like, I don't hate Cullen. I think he's basic. I think he's the basic romance choice, and I think he's a fucking idiot. And ultimately, if the worst thing that you are is a fucking idiot, then that's fine. Especially amongst, the war criminal and the terrorist.
Look, all I know is that Solus is too far up his own ass, and the fucking egg breaks up with you if you try to date him, and I'm like, so what's the fucking point?
It's not like you knew when the game came out, considering that happens in the DLC. It's like how the fucking bull romancers were like, why would you do this to us? How could you? And the response from the writing team was, you were the ones who taught him his family didn't matter.
Look, my Inquisitor is simply going to be in the middle, in between Bull and Dorian, and then they can just all hold hands. It's fine.
Listen, a Bull Dorian sandwich is not is not a bad idea.
If you don't date either, and they date each other anyway, I mean...
This is why I don't do shit like this. Fucking... Y'all epic animatic creators are fucking insane, dog. I could draw you, like, shitty storyboards about what I wanted. Like, I could provide direction for a proper, like, animator to do it. If I needed to. But, like, this shit's insane. All of the small micro changes you have to make. I have nothing but respect for the animation community. You guys are nuts. Ideally, this animatic's gonna be, what, maybe 30 seconds? You have to do all this fucking cleanup? That's bananas. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy, go nuts.
But, you know, practice is practice is practice.
I sure guess. This is also proving to me that I don't draw my hawk enough. I love Dimitri. He went through some... You know what? I've said this before, and I'll say it again and stand by it. I don't think that any DA protagonist has been through half as much as fucking Hawk did. Like a bunch of bad shit happens to the Inquisitor and to Rook and to the hero of Ferelden. But fucking Hawk's life falls apart. Like, we can't, like... One of the reasons that I think DA2 is wildly underrated is because, like, the fact that the story is so much smaller and so much more intimate means that, like, you have so profoundly much more investment in what happens in Kirkwall. Cause, like, I'm sad when bad shit happens in Weishaupt, but, like, I don't fucking have any attachment to, like... I don't have as much attachment to, like... to that, but I've built up such a strong relationship with Kirkwall that, like, every time in every subsequent game, I'm like, yeah, that's great. What the fuck is happening in Kirkwall right now? What the fuck is Aveline doing? How are her fucking kids? Like, what, like... how's Aveline and her husband doing, you know? Like... DA2 built up such a strong cast and made Kirkwall such a fucking... gave Kirkwall such a sense of place that you become so much more invested in everything that happens there. And, like... Again, god damn it, does Hawk's life not just fucking fall apart? You lose one of your younger siblings, you lose your mom, you lose your friends, the fucking city, depending on how bad you fuck up certain fucking Choices, you lose companions? Because, yeah, spoilers, if you fuck up and don't spend enough time with Isabella and don't stand by her with the Kunari, then she'll leave. She'll just leave and never come back. If you fuck up, you can lose your other younger sibling. Like Hawk's whole life just completely fucking collapses around him. And it's why Varric was like, it was like, Cassandra, I'm just not telling you what happened. I'm not telling you where he went. Let Hawk take a break 2K forever.
I would like to share a brief side tangent thought.
Go for it.
I think it's a little funny that we shipped both of our peak men for us together.
It's true. I feel like that should say something about us, but, you know. Don't need to draw this part. I have a fucking brush for it. I only need, like, wouldn't be that much. Then I can do... tweak the angle a little bit. Make that a little stronger. Then filter. Tone down the strength. That one doesn't need to be so strong. There we go. There's frame 2. Oops. 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 Frame 3. Now I have to look up a reference for him because, surprise, I've never drawn him before. It's also a lot of presuming that they'd look the same, but, you know, it is what it is. Thanks to fucking BioWare, we have no fucking idea where Anders is or what Anders is doing.
Rotting in hell, preferably.
And in comes Mortis with a steel chair. Huge backtrack here, but I do want to comment on this. No, it's not Hawk. It's the hero Ferelden. In this essay, I will. first off, depending on what origin you pick, you're either like if you're a city elf, you live in an alienage, right? If you're a Dalish elf, you're in one of the Dalish clans, right? The DA2 alienages are a lot more friendly, I'll say, than the ones in Origins. But like, so okay. In Origins, you have each of these origin stories. You can choose your background based on like your race and gender, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
A Dragon Age stable.
Yep. So when you choose your origin, you also choose this story that happens as a result of that origin, right? For example, if you play as a city elf, a female city elf, you are one in an arranged marriage, like your marriage. Two, you are abducted for a party to essentially get assaulted at by human nobles. You then become a criminal, and then you join the Grey Wardens. Well, you become a criminal because you killed the nobles, because fucking of course, right?
Right.
That is including the horrible trauma of what happens to your cousin, because they did get to them. They did get to Shiani first, right? And like, it's awful for Shiani, but like, not a lot of people are prepared to deal with like the aftermath, right? So you have to kind of deal with that a little bit. And this is a cousin that you love, right? All of that, and then you are branded a criminal because you took justice onto yourself, very rightly so. And then you join the Grey Wardens. You take the joining. You watch 3 other wardens die because of this joining. And then you're told you have 10 years to live and make the best of it, right?
Good luck,
That's not,
dipshit.
yeah, that's not even getting into the rest of the horrors that you perceive. Because regardless the origin you pick, your character in some way is sheltered, right? You don't know jack about shit. You don't know about blights. You just don't know, right?
Mm-hmm.
So fucking the horror of the Darkspawn, the abject horror of watching every single other Grey Warden in Ferelden being slaughtered by an army larger than anything you could even comprehend, that fucks you up. If you're a mage, good God, if you're a mage, you're born in a tower, you have to go through a harrowing, which is basically so the Templars have security that if something happens, you're not going to become an abomination, right? Like, oh, you've reached the age of 18, 19. We now have to test to make sure you're responsible enough with your magic to not make deals with demons. So you, with no idea of nothing, because the whole harrowing thing is kept a secret, you're sent with nothing but the clothes on your back into the Fade. You have to go through that, fight a demon, come back, and when you come to, you have to wrestle with the fact that there have been Templar swords trained on you the whole time as you were doing this harrowing, right? And then after that, because of one selfish asshole who abused your friendship, you are now told you're no longer welcome in the circle and you have to leave. And then you become a Grey Warden. And then you go back to that circle and you have to watch everyone you've known for your whole life. Because with mage circles, you're fucking, the moment you have any sort of magical aptitude, you're shoved in there. People don't want to fuck with that. And you're there for the rest of your life unless you're like let out on loan, right?
Or you're an apostate and just lie.
Yeah. Well, if you're an apostate, you're a fucking criminal too. And you're never going to be able to know a moment of peace for the rest of your life.
Hawk, you wouldn't know anything about apostate mages, would you? What? Me? No. Some of my favorite dialogue in early DA2 is when Aveline asks you if you're an apostate, and you have the opportunity to be like, what? Me? No! I went to the circle. I spent all of my time in the octagon. Circle! I spent my whole time in the circle.
Yeah, but anyways, if you're the hero of Ferelden, you get to come back to your home. Yay! And watch everyone you've ever known, ever trusted, ever, like, you know, had some sort of positive something with, you get to watch them die. Cool, right? A lot of people will discount Dragon Age Origins as being, like... Well, okay, so you have people saying, oh, Dragon Age Origins is so goofy, as, like, a quip against people who say, well, Dragon Age Origins was like dark fantasy. And here's the thing.
Two things can be true at once.
Yeah, two things can be true at once. And nothing is more evident about that than Dragon Age, like, Origins, and the fact that you do have these goofy moments, like, if you've seen the clip of Tegan doing the funky little gesture dance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's actively possessed by a demon. And his son is, it's his son or his nephew. I think it's his nephew. His nephew is making him do this because his nephew is also possessed by a desire demon and cannot control himself. And that child will live with that for the rest of his life. And we know that he lives with that guilt for the rest of his life because he's in Inquisitions. Right? Very cool, very fun, very poggers. If you're a dwarf, you get two options. You're either a one of the caste lists, in which you are considered untouchable for the whole of your life, or you're a noble, which is better, but at the same time, dwarven noble ideals and, like, all that is so very oppressive and restrictive. And also, let's not forget the coup and the hostile takeover done by your brother, in which he kills his other brother, and you're sent off.
That's why Varric leaves.
Yep. And then if you leave the Deep Roads, you're called a surface herd, and you're never allowed to go back to Orzammar again. You can be outside of the gates, but you're never welcomed in the gates, right?
Which is why Varric left. Varric was like, Orzammar fucking sucks, later dickheads.
Yeah. If I remember, so if you're a human, unless you're a mage, you are a noble, which is great. It's perfect. You get to watch your entire family get slaughtered and have to say goodbye to your parents, knowing full well that the moment you escape through the sewers, your parents are gone. They're donezo. They're dead. And that's fucking awful. That's not even getting into the shit that happens in Origins itself. Because guess who gets to go back into the Fade? And also the Deep Roads. Hey, you've never really seen or experienced, well, no, you have seen, but you've never experienced a broodmother before. Neither has Hawk. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Truly.
I'm fucking,
Origin such a game.
I was gonna say, listen, I don't want to fight you, but I still remember what happens to Hawk's mom.
Yeah, me too. The broodmother heat. And fucking after all of that, you claw and fight your way, and you fight against the Darkspawn, and everywhere you turn, despite the existence of Grey Warden treaties, people hate you. They think you've let down Thedas and Ferelden, because what the fuck are you doing? You're not helping people. You're just running around and cosplaying as a warden. You're not doing anything to help us. And then you do. And you gain their respect, barely. You try to help a disenfranchised town, and it's destroyed because fuck you.
I mean,
And you can't do anything to help them.
I was gonna say, I mean, nobody likes the Wardens.
Yeah, fucking nobody likes the Wardens. But if not for the Wardens, the Fifth Blight, everything would be like fucked.
One of
We
the,
wouldn't have J2, we wouldn't have Inquisition, we would have nothing. Ferelden would just be lost.
one of my favorite things about Dragon Age is that it has a beautiful system of like making everything like it's big systemic things, especially like not necessarily character motivations. I think they work great in stark black and white when it comes to character motivation, but like it does a great job of building a world that is completely morally gray.
Yeah.
Because like systems are neither good nor bad, they are simply present. Because like, well, nobody likes the Wardens. Well, yeah, the Wardens are responsible for, yeah, you know what else the Wardens are responsible for doing? Kicking the shit out of people, taking up spaces in their homes, committing violent crimes, and knowing that they can't get in trouble for it. Which is why nobody likes the Wardens.
Couldn't be me, I would have snapped and started killing peasants the second time they were mean to me.
Like, that's what it comes down to, right? It's like, a lot of the Grey Warden's biggest enemy are Wardens. It's why when you talk to Davrin in Veilguard, he says it attracts the wrong sort. And he knows.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, never forget, right? I love Blackwall. Never forget.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's not... It paints its systems as being completely, like, devoid of... Like, its systemic things are completely devoid of morality. They simply exist.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of the beautiful things about its world building. Because, yeah, these two, much like a lot of things in Dragon Age, which is part of why I love it and it's the best RPG franchise I've ever played, two things are consistently true at the same time.
For sure, for sure.
The Wardens are an invaluable thing to Thedas, and full of brave and valiant people who risk their lives fighting demons afflicted with Satan plague to prevent the world from getting the Hell plague.
Mm-hmm.
They're also a gang of violent criminals who joined this military organization to get out of being arrested and or executed.
Yep. But also they have, so yes, but then also they joined with the understanding that in 10 years they're gonna die anyways.
Right.
Which is fucking another thing. So specifically within the scope of Origins, there's only 2 Wardens, and then a third because one manages to sneak over from Orlais because Logain closed down the border between...
Shut the fuck up, James. God damn it. Fuck you.
Uh-oh.
Just keep going. Just keep talking. I can fix it.
Okay. Hog. But like, fucking... Yes, that's true. However, during the events of Origins, there are only 2 Wardens, and then 3, and then very quickly 2 once again. Well, 3 then 4, depending on a choice you make in regards to whether someone lives or dies, right? But fucking, yeah, dog, Hero Ferelden has got it rough. Imagine you're like, okay, imagine you're a woman real quick, right?
I'll do my best.
Yeah. Imagine you play as like a woman in Dragon Age. You romance Alistair, right? Imagine like you have hope. There is this third warden who managed to sneak in from Orlais, and he's like, hey, you know, I know that there's this huge sacrifice coming, and tomorrow we're going to end the blight no matter what. I will go. I will take this sacrifice for myself. You are the only 2 Ferelden wardens left. We have to rebuild our ranks. no matter what. So you two have to survive. And you're like, yeah, okay, we're gonna be fine. We just have to hold the line. We're gonna be fine. And then you watch that third warden on the back of an archdemon wounded and then fall to his death. And you now have to grapple with the fact that, oh, either you or your lover is going to have to die. What the fuck? What the fuck? And if you take your lover with you to the top of that tower to kill the archdemon, guess who's sacrificing himself?
You don't get a choice because Alistair's baby.
No, you don't get yeah, no, you can't stop him. If you take Alistair with you to the top of that tower, he's gonna do it. He's chosen you, and you have chosen him. And what the fuck do you do with that? So yeah, fucking Hero for Elden, I think, has it a little bit worse. Hawk is a very close second, though.
I disagree. The only reason I disagree is because I think, again, I would say Hawk is worse, and it's only, and it's not because of like a quantifiable like what they go through is worse. It's because it's so much more intimate.
Mm-hmm.
It's because like Hawk's whole struggle is like everything that Hawk goes through is so intensely personal and intimate.
Mm-hmm.
Like what happens to his mom, what happens to his siblings. It's because remember, you watched one of your twin siblings get fucking eaten by a darkspawn violently. And then like, what, 2 months later? You're holding them in your arms and they are blighted and you know that you're about to lose the other one.
Mm-hmm.
You have 2 members of your family left. And you are swiftly about to have one. And either you do have one, or you make the right choices and they become a warden. Which, the fucking poor Carver. Which means that either you lose them now or you lose them in 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
When they shamble their ass with demon dementia off into the deep roads. And then immediately after that, what happens to Hawk's mom, TM?
Yeah.
And then you have one family member left.
Technically, depending on how you play Origins, you have 2. Which is a wild thing, but fun fact about the mage Hero for Elden. That's an ML, baby. That's cousin. In the club, we all fam.
And then, and then one of your friends gets, one of your closest friends and or lover, almost gets kidnapped by their slave master. One of your friends and or lover, is almost possessed by a demon.
Mm-hmm.
One of your friends and or lover, abandons you. And worst case scenario, one of your friend, and then the one that you can't avoid, regardless of anything, is that, one of your friends and or lover uses you to kill, like, at least 100 people!
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, emotionally manipulates and gaslights you into killing a shit ton of people without your knowledge.
Yep. That is true.
And if you fucked those up, one of your other friends turns on you, because fun fact, if you dick up with Fenris after Anders turns, Fenris turns on you.
Would never do that because I hate Anders.
Because he thinks it, because Anders says that you helped him, and Fenris thinks it's all that you were colluding.
Bitch, I wanted to slap him. I want to slap him. I want to kill that motherfucker, and I get the option to later.
Yeah, and then your choice is that you are then confronted with your friend and or lover, and you're like, hey, why the fuck did you do that? And he doesn't, and then he blames you.
Well, that, and he pulls the fucking, don't tell me anything. You can't say anything I haven't already told myself.
Die. Perish, weep, cry.
And why are you this way? Like, is it are the fucking up with is the fucking up with Fenris like super clear?
Yep.
You have to like, it's that you're it happens if your affinity with him is too low.
Oh, okay.
Or I think if you rival friendship as well.
Yeah, or if you have a rival friendship. Yeah.
So, Dragon Age 2, I will say, I do love Dragon Age 2. I think this relationship system is very interesting. Dragon Age 2 doesn't have the traditional like or dislike factor. There's the friendship, and then a rival friendship, and then, like, the friendship romance and the rivalry romance, which I think is interesting.
I love it. It's just, fuck.
Yeah. Okay, now the question is, do I have enough time to draw my hair?
Yeah, it's a little, it's a little fucky in that way.
Mm-hmm. I'll need some help then.
We'll provide you guides, don't even worry.
Oh yeah, the guides are really clear. Like, it takes a second to wrap your head around it, but once you do, it's, like, pretty straightforward.
I want to be friends with everyone but Anders. He can go fuck himself.
Yeah, I would say, the only reason I would say Hawk has it worse is, again, like the worst you know what? The worst thing that happens to the hero of Ferelden ultimately at the end is that they die. You don't get an option. Hawk has to watch their whole life fall apart.
So does the hero of Ferelden.
And then they have to, and then they feed themselves to spiders. Kinda.
What?
Inquisition.
Oh, yeah. But no, the hero of Ferelden watches their whole life fall apart, too. The difference is that Hawk watches it slowly. The hero kind of... They watch the start of it, and then they see the results of it.
Yeah, that's I think that's fundamentally the difference for me.
Mm-hmm.
Is I think Hawk has it worse because, like, Hawk is just constantly watching their life fall apart.
Yeah.
Like, there's no winning for Hawk. Hawk does nothing but suffer. The hero of Ferelden has a really bad start, a really good middle, and then let's phrase it like this. They have a really bad start, a good middle, and then a really bad end.
Dog, the middle is nothing. The middle is not good.
Fucking comparatively.
I mean, comparatively, probably, but it's still not good.
No, I'm not saying, like, that it's, like, sunshine and rainbows or anything, but, like, they lose everything, get a found family.
one person. They get one person who's like a warden, and then other people who, like, depending on your choices, tolerate your presence.
I was about to say, Morgan, fucking Liliana, Alistair, they don't count as found family?
I mean, Alistair definitely counts, but there's something like, how do I put this? So wardens are very cliquey, right?
Yeah, I figured that as much.
Yeah, it's that.
That's why I had to beat the shit out of the first warden, because he wouldn't fucking listen to me!
And unfortunately, that's been a thing for a while. Truly, fucking, we lost Duncan, and that was kind of GG's for good warden leadership. I'm not gonna lie.
Cring.
But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna go on mute again to dry my hair.
I completely forgot what I was talking about before he digressed. What the fuck was I talking about? I don't remember. It's gone. Shit's gone. Whatever. I'm not mad about it. I just genuinely forgot. I forgot.
Talk about oh my god, talk about Blackwell's fat tits.
I can talk about Blackwell's fat tits. I love Blackwall so fucking much. So, oh god, I can talk about the fucking primal fight or flight I felt during Lucanus.
Was it Dredge you were talking about and finishing the DLC?
It was not, but I will when the autism releases me from its icy grip. Because I also want to finish Silent Hill 2.
Justin's back home now, so...
Yeah, Justin's back home now, so we can. But... Oh yeah. So, I was playing, Veilguard, as is my wanton way. And I got to a point, and it was like, okay, a little timed marker. So it meant that there was something I had to do, like, right now for Lucanus, and I was like, oh, I'll go do it, because I love him. And I go to do it, and he's not in his room, and it makes a note. It's like, he's gone, where did he go? And out loud, as a knee-jerk response, I went, I'm not doing this again! I was so ready. I was so fucking primally... I had a primal bodily reaction. I was like, not again. I can't. Not after last time. God damn it. I love him. He's so good. I hate fucking... Nothing irritates me more than fucking Solavellin's derogatory. Talking shit about Blackwall. Because I remember back in the day, I saw people complain about Blackwall smoochers, and they were like, well, he's a murderer. That one aged like fucking fine wine. But even back then, it was like, yeah, so is everyone. Well, he killed an innocent person. Yeah, he sure did. And he actually feels bad about it, unlike, some people. Unlike some fucking eggs I know.
Also, if I remember correctly, Blackwall didn't raise his sword. He just gave the order.
Yeah. And what he did, like, was objectively a mistake.
Oh, absolutely. But Solus had a direct hand in the shit that he did.
Solus didn't.
Dude raised his blade, and then his armies, and manipulated spirits.
I'm going to sacrifice thousands of spirits knowingly, and then when my subordinates look at me in horror, I'm gonna be like, no, it's fine. Iron Bull is the best one? That's a base tag, honestly. Listen, I love Blackwall. I love him so much, but I'm not gonna pretend that I didn't also ride the bull, so, you know? I love him, Your Honor.
He's so good, and we love a good redemption arc where someone is actually redeemed, and not just, oh, moving on, I have to do this. Deuces.
But are you sorry? But are you sorry? Get back here, you fucker!
No, and that's so, like, I don't know. Also, I know, because I know what the rebuttal to this will be. Yes, Solus himself is a victim of some things, right? But that doesn't mean he's suddenly absolved of all of the shit that he does after, right? Like,
Did you know that you can be a victim and then victimize others?
Yeah. Just because you're a victim doesn't mean you're not an abuser to someone else. Like, it's wild. It's wild to me.
He's so good. I love Bull.
Bull is great.
We love a man who respects kink.
Mm-hmm.
I love when he, like, very aggressively and explicitly tells Dorian what he's going to do to him, and then Dorian, like, huh, what? And he goes, oh, is that not what we were doing? Was this not the direction this was going? Were we not?
I thought you were flirting. I guess I was wrong. Wink, 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 wink.
And then he fucking leaves his lacy underwear behind.
Mm-hmm.
And Bull tells everyone. I stand by one of the greatest, like, early indicators that that put me off of Solus was how just aggressively and, like, not even microaggressive, like, macro-aggressively racist he is to Bull.
Yeah. Also, the way that he handles Dalish culture in its modern form, like, I get it. I understand that you see these people and see their Valesline and, like, recognize them as slaves, but these are people who still have built up their own culture, their own ways. Just because they still worship the elven gods doesn't mean that they don't deserve to have their culture, the one that took years building up, just because you're reminded of your mistake. Also, fucking, they don't know. They don't know the shit that, like, you went through. That doesn't mean that doesn't mean that their culture shouldn't exist.
Did you know that if you don't, that because you make me feel bad about the bad things that I did, genocide?
Mm-hmm. Looking at you makes me feel bad, so here's what I'm gonna do about it. I'm going to tear down the veil. Good luck. Free demons, good luck.
You get a demon, and you get a demon. Then we... Oops.
Uh-oh.
What?
What was that noise?
My computer?
Ah. It sounded like an air thing. I was like, ooh.
Ooh. Oh!
Huh?
Ah!
Oi.
Oi.
Ooh.
Ooh. Huh?
Ah.
Autism noises.
For real. But yeah, I don't know. I have so many thoughts about this series. It's so well done.
I love Dragon Age!
Charlie, I love Dragon Age! I love Dragon Age! But no,
I'm gonna have to redo it later, but I did a rough sketch and put it in the actual Polykill chat.
ooh.
These are not good, but it's fine.
But, fucking... No, I'm so excited when I'm free from the hellish 2 weeks that is setting up Christmas at the store. Because then I get to show you Origins. And then wait. Mi amore, mi vida, mi corazon, please. We also have to watch Haunting of, not Haunting, fucking Fall of House Usher.
Fun fact about Fall of House of Usher, chat, and this is one of my dark shames, is that, listen, I know objectively that it's not. I keep thinking it's about the musician. I keep thinking it's about the musician Usher. I know it's not, but I keep thinking it is.
Listen, it's super not. We might still be getting those documentaries.
Crazy things happening in the world today.
That's a start. That's 4 of...
Yeah.
Cry. Apply my chopsticks. I'm licking my lips. Fixing my dry ass lips.
Oh, your lactates are here.
Good, because I'm about to raid out, and I'm gonna go fucking eat that goddamn strawberry shortcake before I play Dragon Age.
Hell yeah.
I can what?
Yeah.
Me.
Who's playing Veilguard? I'm gonna send you over to somebody playing Veilguard. Here's a fellow VTuber playing Veilguard.
Good timing, too, because I'm about to leave my house.
Where is... Oh! It looks like they just started!
Ooh.
Yeah, they just got Eladio. Or they just got Luganis. It's the bit of him talking to Eladio. And being like, yeah.
Gee, they just like me, for real.
Let me see. I love that the title of their stream is I hope we don't find any bad dragons.
Uh-oh.
Well, not for a while.
Raid...
Not for a while.
Here's, that's your raid message. Your raid message is kiss that crow. Kiss that crow. And I'll see all of you Saturday. Goodbye.
Goodbye.